For my research, I decided to analyze the activity of deer along roads in deer and fall vehicular collisions in New Jersey, specifically in Somerset and Hunterdon counties, and come to a conclusion on the best possible solution to limit collisions. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, there are about 1 million car accidents with deer each year that kill 200 Americans, cause more than 10,000 personal injuries, and result in $1 billion in vehicle damage in 2011. These numbers are not diminishing and will continue to grow. This is a big problem in the country today. All over the country, people are hitting wandering deer and paying the price. This includes both the physical and emotional payment. Emotional payment could be therapy or aiding to resolve any trauma caused by the accident. Damages to vehicles and injuries can be a factor, while emotional trauma of killing the deer can also come into play. This idea has not been completely thrown under the rug. There are attempts made at combating this problem. I wanted my research to be revolved around something I may benefit from. Therefore, I wanted to think about something that I partake in on a daily basis. I came to the decision of driving. After that, I then thought of problems that people have with driving and realized that deer are a nuisance while driving. Through research, I came to the question of what is the best method to limit deer involved vehicular collisions, specifically in Somerset and Hunterdon counties. These counties were honed in on because they are very close in proximity. Deer vehicular collisions in New Jersey are a large problem. These two counties experience a great amount of deer along roads and multiple collisions. This research will aid in finding a more effective solution to an ongoing problem that is still in need of a better solution. First, I decided to analyze the activity of deer, as it is believed that the main cause of deer vehicular collisions is due to the large activity of deer along roads near forests. A study by Tomberlin and Weatherman J. in 2007 looks into the activity of adult male white-tailed deer at Chesapeake Farms, Maryland. My meta-analysis is based off of New Jersey and not Maryland. Although, according to a study conducted by State Farm, the likelihood of a driver to hit a deer is very similar in the two states. The two states are similar, with large cities, suburban towns, rural areas, and beachfronts. Thus, it is appropriate to look at the activity of deer in Maryland and use it as a guideline for New Jersey. According to the study by Tomberlin and Weatherman J., the results show that males had higher activity peaks during summer and early fall, which became less pronounced as breeding season approached. Male activity peaked during the breed season and significantly decreased during post-breed. Similar to movement results, increase in fall activity was consistent with decline of forage availability and onset of rutting behavior. Daytime was the period of lowest activity, suggesting this period of day is used for concealment, resting, rumination, and to minimize heat stress. This could suggest that most deer come across roadways while moving to a new place to live. Then they are killed on the way. Economics are a large part of the problem with collisions with deer. Economic analyses of injuries due to DVCs or deer-involved vehicular collisions are not easily obtained because of the difficulty associated with assigning monetary value to human injuries and fatalities. For instance, Reed et al. Chose to leave out human costs from an analysis of DVC reduction methods, citing the challenges associated with quantifying human injury and death in terms of money. However, to understand the full spectrum of the impacts of DVCs and to put them into perspective, a cost needs to be given to these damages. In a study conducted by Pasante et al., the overall cost for 13,020 collisions over 6 years in Utah was $45,175,454, resulting in an estimated average cost per year of $7,529,242 and a mean cost per collision of $3,470. Contributions to total cost varied widely, including the total cost of human fatality at $24 million, vehicle costs at $17,521,970, deer loss at $2,651,083 and human injury at $1,002,401. While this was a study conducted in Utah and not in New Jersey, it still sheds light on the grand expense of this problem. One solution to limit deer activity in New Jersey has already been implemented. This includes organized hunting as a tactic to manage deer. It is not necessarily a solution directly targeted at lowering the amount of deer involved in vehicular collisions, but is rather a solution to combat the overabundance of deer. According to the study by Williams et al., deer involved vehicular collisions were tallied through a combination of police reports and roadkill collection records by animal control officers or private contractors. Data collection methods were consistent among years at all locations. Deer vehicular collisions decreased annually, but averaged 96 per year. This showed how throughout the year, as it got closer to breeding season for deer, there were still less deer vehicle collisions, which is a time where there are typically the most collisions. I did not feel that I needed to provide many definitions for my research that would be thoroughly used throughout its entirety. It is important to note an abbreviation that will be commonly used, DIVC or DVC, which will stand for Deer Involved Vehicular Collisions, or DVC, Deer Vehicle Collisions. There is also deer activity, which is the movement and patterns of deer populations and groups. There are many different solutions to this problem. Many of them do not provide valid evidence that would prove that they would be useful solutions. Some solutions include fencing, repellents, and signs, which are all examples of non-lethal solutions. Other solutions include recreational hunting and different forms of deer management programs, which are lethal solutions. I hypothesize that the more effective option will be in the lethal solution category, while the more ethically correct solution will stem from the non lethal category. My method of inquiry is different from many others. I am not conducting a study with volunteers. Instead, I will be analyzing the effectiveness of different methods to limit deer activity along roads in order to arrive at the conclusion of the best solution. Many factors will go into consideration when analyzing the potential solutions. Each solution will be broken down into categories, and each category has a different level of significance. Each solution will be assessed on categories such as cost, lifespan, lethality, difference of deer activity, effectiveness, and alterations. The category of cost is simply the cost required to create the solution and install it to a point in which it does its job. The category of lifespan is the amount of time the solution will last until replacement is required. Lethality is very simple. Either solution is lethal or it is not. Each solution falls into one of them. The majority of solutions provide deer activity on the studied area prior to the solution, prior to the study and after. This encompasses the difference in deer activity. Effectiveness is similar, but it is more of an overview on how effective the study was. Near the end of most studies, the author includes a paragraph or two explaining differences that could have been made to the study that may change results. Those are alterations that belong in the category. Including these will give space to see if the solution could work better if changed slightly. Cost plays a large role when deciding on the best solution to put into action. If a solution is effective, it is possible that it is also extremely expensive. According to the county budget notice, the total budget for Somerset County for 2019 was $254,385,065.62. In the grand scheme of trying to effectively eliminate deer-involved vehicular collisions in the best way possible, it may prove not worth it to spend a substantial amount of money. On the other hand, there are cheap solutions that do not provide much effectiveness at all. Below is a chart showing the cost of each solution in US dollars. They are ranked from lowest to highest. Elevated roadways and road tunnels have shown effectiveness, as previously stated, but are extremely high in price and considered not worth it as a solution. The ideal solution would most likely be in the cheaper range of possible solutions, which includes organized hunting, wildlife warning reflectors, vegetation removal, highway crosswalk structures, interstate highway fencing, relocation, and potentially animal detection systems. What, one main category the solutions were analyzed with is lethality. This means whether or not the solution includes killing deer population in some way. Originally, I hypothesized that this is a terrible idea altogether, and that it is wrong to kill them to lower crashes, and that it is better to be non-lethal in most circumstances. On the other hand, according to Brooke Maslow, extension specialist wildlife ecology from Rutgers University, due to multiple factors, deer population experienced further population growth during the early 20th century. A combined effort from agricultural practices creating a high amount of food for deer, extirpation of natural predators such as wolves, cougars, lowered natural mortality rates, and reductions from recreational hunting further reduced deer mortality. It can also be argued that lethality for the solution in this situation is almost necessary and could prove to be the best solution. As shown in the chart below, there is only one lethal solution, being organized hunting. Every other potential solution is non-lethal. This shows that people are actively trying to find the best non-lethal solution, when in reality the best solution may already be staring them in the face with the lethal solution. Effectiveness is vital when analyzing the solutions for the best possible one. It would be completely useless to use a solution that does not reach enough effectiveness. Effectiveness encompasses the activity of deer from before and after in order to then broadcast how effective the solution is. For example, as depicted in the chart below, highway crosswalk structures proved through the differences in activity that mortality rates declined 42.3% along four-lane highways and 36.8% along two-lane highways. Other solutions show that there was little effectiveness in reducing deer-involved vehicular collisions, as seen in the effectiveness in the chart below. The interstate highway fencing and a 2.7-meter deer-proof fence reduced the number of deer on the right-of-way, but was not effective in reducing the number of deer-involved vehicular collisions. The study did not prove a direct relationship between collisions and deer activity along the roads. Other solutions were entirely different. There is a lack of quantitative statistics on the difference in deer-involved vehicular collisions or deer activity. Rather, the effectiveness is stated as an assumption of what will happen over the coming years. This is visible in the effectiveness for animal detection systems. There is no evidence that proves that there will concretely be a 33 to 97% drop in collisions with large mammals. Rather, it is an assumption that was made based on the implemented study of animal detection systems. The effectiveness of the solutions are all different and all play an extremely large role in the comparison of them. Throughout the process of analyzing multiple potential solutions for the best way to limit deer-involved vehicular collisions in Somerset and Hunterdon counties, the best solution has proved to be organized hunting. It is extremely cost-effective, as there is virtually no cost to implement. Recreational shooting is very popular in the area, and it will be very easy to add in deer for this particular motive. It is a tradition in the counties, especially Hunterdon, where hunting is popular. There are a few times throughout the year that hunters are able to kill deer. Even with the season ranging from September to February, there is a lack of time for specific hunters to go out. For example, people using shotguns can only hunt during 2 months out of hunting season. The same situation is seen for other methods of hunting. Even with this hunting, there is still an overpopulation of deer in the area. A longer season can allow for a larger cutback on deer. Organized shooting as a solution may also lead to solving other problems linked with deer, including reducing Lyme disease cases, reducing agricultural losses, reducing landscape planting losses, and reducing ecological damage, as all mentioned in James Bird's Hopewell Valley Deer Management Plan. Impacts on the efficiency of recreational hunting toward reducing the deer population include restriction of access, either complete exclusion of hunting or significant time restraints, and lack of coordination between hunters on neighboring parcels, leading to pushing deer from areas of higher to lower hunting activity. In addition, a significant number of hunters prefer to harvest antlered deer relative to antlerless deer, which leads to unbalanced sex ratios in the population, many more females than males. The imbalance of females allows rapid annual population growth, as relatively few males impregnate all mature females. An additional limitation on harvesting deer is a lack of options for venison consumption. Restaurants tend to avoid using venison in meat and tend to lean towards other meats, such as beef and pork. This is also due to the fact that there are laws prohibiting the sale of uninspected game meat. These impacts on the success of recreational and organized hunting can be removed through this plan of action. Longer seasons for hunting or longer periods of time for each style of hunting can reduce the problem of restriction of access. A clear plan needs to be created that all hunters follow. The problem of pushing deer to areas of lower hunting activity is also a fallback of hunting. Keeping hunting equal everywhere can make sure that deer do not all start to gather in a place of low hunting activity. As stated above, hunters tend to gravitate more towards antlered deer or bucks rather than antlerless deer, does. A possible way to combat this limitation is to keep track of the amount of bucks being killed throughout the season. At a certain point, it can be stated that there should be less bucks killed. Hunters who are hunting for venison or meat from deer can also be encouraged to hunt more does more often rather than bucks. Future researchers should look to compare New Jersey to hunting in other states where there is a looser hunting season and see if the differences affects the deer population. Also, further research should go into the direction of looking to see if there are any other solutions not included in this research which also prove to be effective and useful. Overall, the best solution to lower deer-involved vehicular collisions in Somerset and Hunterdon counties in New Jersey is organized hunting with specific plans to combat limitations.